Hello and welcome you once again in this new session of Civics. In this session, we will again start with the legislature. In our last session, what we have learned? What is the legislature? What are the two houses of legislature? That is the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Their composition, their qualification of the members, how they are elected, who is the presiding officer. And now, in this lesson, now we will study about the relationship of both the houses in a parliament. Both the houses has some equal powers. Like, what are the equal power they enjoy? First is that either of the house can introduce the ordinary bill. Ordinary bill can be passed introduced either through the Rajya Sabha or through the Lok Sabha. Both the house, any one of the house can introduce it. And another thing is that both the house take part in the election of president and vice president. Vice president and president can be elected by both the houses. Both the houses approve the impeachment motions for the removal of the president of India. So they have a right to elect the president of India. They have the right for the impeachment for the removal of the president of India. Even they have a right of approval and impeachment for the judges of Supreme Court and High Court of India. Apart from that, another common power is that both the house is essential for the amendment of the Constitution of India. If there is any amendment in the law, both the house have to participate. They have to give the vote for this amendment bill. But as a Lok Sabha, it is a much bigger than the Rajya Sabha. It has some extra power too. What is that? In the Lok Sabha, money bill only can be introduced in the Lok Sabha. Money bill cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. I repeat again. Money bill only be introduced in Lok Sabha. Second, in a joint meeting of the House of the Parliament, the decision of the Lok Sabha is always prevailed because it has more members than Rajya Sabha. It has 552 and in Rajya Sabha it is 252. So that is why always when the joint meeting of the House is held in the Parliament, the decision of the Lok Sabha is prevailed. The no confidence motion, adjournment motion, cut motion, all can be introduced by Lok Sabha only. I repeat again, no confidence motion, adjournment motion, cut motion, these are only introduced in Lok Sabha. In the following areas, Rajya Sabha enjoys certain exclusive power like, see, in the first we have read about that common power. It was the common power. Then here we have learned about the Lok Sabha's individual power. Now we will read about the individual power of Rajya Sabha. What is this? These are, it checks hasty legislature. It is a permanent house, so it continued even after the Lok Sabha is dissolved. Because Rajya Sabha is a permanent, So it enjoys, if the Lok Sabha is dissolved, all the 552 members are not a member of parliament at that time, but Rajya Sabha still hold the permanent house. Because it is a permanent house, it can functions easily. Then it reflects the expert opinion of its talented nominated members. It can create new all India services. All India services can be created by the Rajya Sabha. Okay, now what are the power of the legislative? Legislative power. First one is legislative power. What is legislative power? Legislative power is where parliament makes the law under union list, that are the 97 subjects like defense, census, income tax, etc., and concurrent lists are 47 subjects like prevention of cruelty to animals, forest, and education. That means 97 subjects are under the union list and 47 subjects like prevention of cruelty of animals, forests, education, citizens welfare are comes in the concurrent list. In the concurrent list item, both the parliament and the state legislature can make law. In this in the concurrent, okay, in the concurrent, not in the union list. Concurrent list can be amended by the state legislature also, like UP government. State legislature means the state's government, that you are living in the UP, that means UP government have also right to amend the bill for the concurrent list. Now, what is the ordinance? Ordinance issued by the president in the absence of the session of the parliament has to be approved by the parliament within a 6 week. If president in the ordinance, he issued the ordinance only when the parliament of the session is not holding, but it has to be approved within the 6 week. Emergency parliament can be called by the president, and when the ordinance is there within the 6 week, they have to approve that. Parliament also make the law on state list items. There are the 66 subjects are there, like local self-government, municipality, municipal corporation during the time of emergency. Okay. Now we will read about the control of the executive. Who can control the executive? As you know, the parliament. Parliament has a right to control the executive. How? By asking the question to the minister during the question hour. As you know, then parliaments are held after every 3 to 4 months. Winter session, summer session, and monsoon session. So during this session, ministers, whoever is the minister can be asked the question during the question hour. Why this has happened? Why this bill is not passed? These all have to give the answer. The minister have to give the answer. Okay. Now, the ministers are jointly responsible for their work performance for the Lok Sabha. Even they had a vote to cut the budget. Sometimes there is an emergency. How to cut the budget? A common discussion is there. And by moving an adjournment motion also. Second part of the control is control over the national purse. Now, what is the national purse? That means budget. Sometimes the parliament passes the budget with the estimate of income and expenditure of the union government in a financial year. Every year, on 28th of February, we have our union budget, where we get the budget for the financial year, how we will get the income, how the income of the country will come, what are the expenditure, all are shown in that financial settlement. Then without the passage of the budget, no new tax can be imposed. It fixes the salaries of the government employees, it fixes the salary of the member of parliament, ministers. They have the electoral power. What is the electoral power? Electoral power means the parliament elect the president and the vice president. Judicial power means when president is elected, he can impeach the president of India. The parliament can impeach the president of India. The parliament also impeach the judges also, and they have the power of the amendment. In the parliament, constitution's amendment, which has been made by B.R. Ambedkar during the first constitution, those laws can be amended. Only through the parliament, or any new law is imposed only with the help of parliament. So I hope you all have understand in this video that what is a legislature. It is the first part of our government organ. Three organs are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, out of which we have learned about the first organ, that is the legislature. In our next session, we will start with our new topic, that is the executive. So read these two videos very carefully. Once again, we will meet in our next session with new topic. Till then, have a nice day and take care of your health.